So I use my body as an oracle, my Shakti, my energy. I play with it all the time. I'm a Tantrika. I live in this energy that we've been hearing about all morning. So all the presentations, everybody's saying the same thing. It's energy, it's love, it's prana, life force, chi, Shakti, the goddess. So what I do is I teach Tantra, I teach Hatha Yoga, I do different styles of body work, and I have a large practice called Sacred Awakenings, the Path of the Goddess. And that's for women. Woo. Yeah. It's getting the goddess on. It's, I do a lot of sexual healing with women, sexual awakening with women. I also work with men and couples too. But the Sacred Awakenings is just for the goddess. And so I do lots of different retreats, bringing women together. I have monthly women's circles where we learn about the goddess, the different aspects of the goddess. And this is all Tantra. You know, everything I do is Tantra, aliveness, totality. And Tantra is, the word Tantra means to weave and expand sexual energy with spiritual energy. So when we do that, we are drawing up this life force in us. And we are drawing down the spiritual energy. And we're radiating it from the heart chakra out through our bodies. And this is how we commune, this is how we dance, this is how we move and we flow. And everything that we know, we feel first. We just have to tap into that, slow down. So let's just take a moment, because we just came back from leaving the space and having lunch and coming back. So let's just all take a moment. If you're sitting on a chair, sitting on the floor, it doesn't matter. Just kind of lift up out of the body, drop the shoulders down and back. Allow the heart to open. Close the eyes. And just move into the breath. Full deep breath, inhalation through the nose, expand the belly. On the inhale, and on the exhale, contract the belly back down towards the spine. And just allow your awareness, consciousness to follow the inhale and the exhale. And allow the awareness, the breath, to bring you into this moment. Breathing into your body. And allow the energy to just drop down into your pelvic floor. Bringing the awareness to the pelvic floor. Energy follows awareness. So dropping down. And just sit in your mind's eye, in your body, feel and sense an opening. Create an opening in the pelvic floor and allow the energy from your body to ground down into the iron core crystal matrix of the mother, Gaia, Panchamama, Mother Earth. And just allow yourself to anchor in to the Mother, to the Earth. Just letting this energy connect. And you can take a moment and release any energy that doesn't serve you down into the Mother. And she'll transmute it into peace, love, and light. What we're doing is grounding into the Mother and moving through the matrix of the Divine Feminine. And allow the energy from the Mother to come back up through the pelvic floor, through the body, and come right up into the heart chakra. And the heart chakra opens and connects to the Divine Mother, Mary, Kuan Yin, Isha, Durga, Isis. And we open the heart to divine beauty, divine joy, divine love, and divine trust, the divine feminine. And we just allow the energy in our heart chakra to connect right into the Divine Mother. This beautiful, compassionate, powerful energy of love, unconditional love. And then inhale that energy back up in through the heart and take it right to the very top of the head, the crown. And the crown opens and connects you to the universe, to the Milky Way galaxy, to the great goddess, Isis, Astarte, Diana, Hecate, Demeter, Kali, and Nala, Freya, Sophia, Lilith, Shakti. And this is where we connect to the mystery, our soul's mystery. And it's our birthright to live in the mystery and to enjoy the journey and to trust the mystery and to share the mystery. So as this energy pours back in through the crown of the head, your awareness is being aligned in the matrix of the Divine Feminine, rooted in the Mother, open to the Divine Mother, and connected to the Great Goddess. Take a nice deep in breath, and on the exhale, let it out with a ha. Ah, that was so not loud enough. Again, take a nice deep in breath. And again. And this time take an inhale, and with the lips closed, the sound. Nice. And you can allow yourself to come back out and open the eyes gently. Yeah. It's nice, it's juicy, it's alive, this energy that we call Shakti. So I found my path when I was really, really young. My Cherokee grandmother, on her deathbed, my great-grandmother, not my grandmother, my great-grandmother, on her deathbed, told me to listen to my heart and not to my mother. I don't know if my Cherokee grandmother family actually liked my Italian mother. I think there was some conflict there. But she told me not to listen to her and to follow my heart. And I was a little girl, I was 5, and I said to my father, and we weren't home, we were in Michigan, and we went to see her because she was dying. And my father said to me, I said to my father, why did you tell me not to listen to Mommy? And I was so curious about that one. And my father just laughed. And when my father laughed, that was like a sacred yes to me. So I just thought, okay, then I don't have to listen to her, whatever that means. And as I grew up, what I didn't listen to, and I listened to a lot because I can cook Italian, trust me. And I loved my Italian family. I grew up very Italian because my father ended up dying when I was very young. But I have a great Italian family. They totally accepted me as the gypsy of the family, they called me too. Because I was definitely different than the rest of the family. And they were a colorful group. They owned a garbage disposal company in Jersey City, so they were kind of crazy Italian family. And loved them dearly. Learned, like I said, a lot in the kitchen. My grandmother, my Italian grandmother, was a wonderful cook. Never spoke a word of English. But I followed this path of the heart. And sometimes it even took me places that were very colorful, I should say, you know. But it kept me in my body. It kept me dancing. It kept me moving. And that's how I discovered this energy of Tantra, this Shakti. Because it's always moving. It's always moving. It's always moving. It never stops. It spirals. It turns. It goes this way. And from this we get the dance called the Tantra. And the Tantra is a beautiful meditative practice of coming into the body first and centering like we just did. And then the body begins to move. And the body will just move. The energy just moves. And you can follow it. And you know when you're not following it is when you're in your head. Because as soon as you go in your head, it gets choppy. You know? So as soon as you put yourself back into your body by following the energy, then the body starts to flow again. And you're just in this natural dance, this natural rhythm. And it's absolutely beautiful. And it's how we expand and cultivate this energy. And the energy that I'm talking about is very primal. It's orgasm. It's raw. And it's big. And we can create a life with it. It's so big. So I like to play with that energy, that aliveness. And it's not like you walk around and you're just having those kind of orgasms we look for in the bedroom. These are the kind that just flow naturally. Some people call them kriyas. They can look like kriyas. It's a little different. It's just a natural flow that never stops. So I've been following the heart. I've been following this energy. And I've just watched, just like what Jeff shared in his talk this morning, just watching how everything just unfolds naturally. And when you do it long enough, there's nothing else you can trust but that. So in my teachings, in my practice, I teach people to trust their bodies. And what that looks like. It looks different on everybody. Because everybody has a different type of body, holds a different type of energy. So, you know, when I read a body energetically, I know kind of how to play with that energy from that point forward and doing a little dialogue with someone, and you know, so we can start to see where we can open it up, where we can play with it again. And that's what it is. It's a very juicy, alive, passionate energy that is very creative. So that's how I work with my energy and play with my energy. And my yoga classes are traditional hatha yoga. I love holding the asanas and surrendering into them. Because that's what we have to do to orgasm too, to have a good one. We have to kind of surrender into that big energy. And it's an amazing path. So everything I do is about playing with it, seeing how big it can get, and then completely letting go, surrender, and moving with that. And wherever surrender takes you. Because surrender will always lead you into deepening the asana, if you're holding a pose. It'll take you into just wonderful places that you want to be. And then when we talk about, you know, having the tougher times, when we can take the tougher times, the times that we feel, you know, maybe not good enough, or this is hard, or I'm not getting it, or I'm not seeing it, or you don't feel like you're aligned with your divine purpose or whatever, you bring that shadow, that energy that's not working for you. You bring it right to your body, to your practice. I like to say I bring it right to my yoga mat, and I come into it and I give it a sacred yes. I give everything a sacred yes. Before I even try to go up here into the place where we all go into the mind and try to figure it out. Once we go there, we kind of lose it. We kind of are done with it. We kind of start to just play with it in the mind, and that's where, of course, we create the suffering. So if we bring it back into the body, back into the breath, and we say yes to whatever it is, it just, space happens. Spanda. In Pantavan we call it space spanda. Big space happens. And what happens with space, everything just kind of softens, dissipates, doesn't look as scary, doesn't look as big, doesn't look as like, oh my God, how am I going to get there? And then that's in that space is where you let go, and that's where the magic happens. And you really can't, describe magic, because as soon as you start to try to describe it, you lose it. So it's something that you just start to understand and know. It's a deep knowing. And everybody in this room has magic. Everybody in this room has Shakti. So when we learn to play with it, we can create with it. And then we just trust that all of what we're doing is going to show up. And as soon as you'll know when you're holding on is because that's when it gets tight, that's when you get in your head, and that's when nothing shows up. And you're like, and then you just bring it back to the mat and say yes to it. Surrender into whatever's blocking you, and then it, again, opens back up for you to be in the magic. So, that's what I do. That's it in a nutshell, really. So I've been playing with the energy the whole of my life. I also raised my 2 sons in this dance, and that itself was pretty wild too. I have one son that, of course my oldest, he was just like, what are you doing? This is crazy, I'm a little wacky here, I'm not like all the other moms, And then I have the other son that is exactly like me, and and they're both cancers. I think that's funny, June 22nd, June 25th. They're just 8 years apart, and they got they both are a little of me, but the one just he's just coming into it now, so it's interesting to watch that, him struggle a little bit with trying to get it, where my other son just rolled with it from day one. But I raised them in this whole dance of just trusting the invisible realm, and of course being connected to the mother, and just breathing through it all. Keeping your body really healthy, really stretched out, always moving it. You'll notice the body will, when you don't move it, that's when it all starts to get tight and, starts to hurt, and, and you feel the dis-ease or the discomfort in the body, and then you just have to stretch it out again and play with it. So it's a practice. Everything that we're talking about here from this morning on, these are practices that keep us naturally in our dance, just flowing with the rhythms of nature, and it's just a big deep breath. It's a nice flow of energy. So, any questions about Tantra? Anybody have a question about the energy or anything like that? No?
Thanks for what I tried listening to you, actually.
Oh, good. So,
it's interesting how it's in all areas.
It is everything. Mm-hmm. It's everything. It's like, I see it as like the biggest spider web. Mm-hmm. Like the biggest spider web, So when you're doing feng shui, you walk into the room and, energy in all the different corners.
Yeah, you see how it's disconnected, and now you connect it.
And then you can,
that with that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's how you play with that. And what does Tantra do? Tantra brings you into aliveness. What does feng shui do to a room? It wakes it up. It creates energy. It makes it alive.
It's just interesting. There's always an association of Tantra with sexual, but it's not just that.
No, the sexual part I tell people is like this. Though there is a beautiful energy, healing modalities that is associated with Tantra that I have found to be so sacred in awakening the energy or healing the trauma of sexual energy. If you've had a trauma of any sort, or even like women, us sisters, we carry a very big, hard, heavy, collective consciousness of what we've been through over the centuries.
Yeah, and sexual energy is a creative energy,
Yes.
ultimately you create another
Right.
fractal, another being, another...
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, and we've, the energy of just like, the witches, being taken down, and just all that heavy goddess energy, that the women
The
endured over
suppressed
these years.
goddess
Yeah.
energy.
And so, getting woken up again sexually, again, when that chakra is shut down, your life force is shut down, it is harder to manifest. It is harder to move through some of the stuff that comes up in